Hey, what's up? This is Gary Swaby, and you're now listening to the Co-op Podcast, episode 88. And the editor-in-chief, Richard Bailey, might jump in later on, but for now, I'm here with Charles Singletary. What's up, Charles?
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. I'm ready to jump into these very interesting topics.
Cool. And Michael A. What's up, Mike?
What's up, people?
And we also have Austin Conway. What's up, Austin?
What's going on, guys?
And from Knights of the Turntable, which is the all hip hop podcast that you should be listening to, we have Joe Hover. What's up, Joe?
What's up, guys? Glad to be here.
Cool. So that's the cast for this week. We're going to get into what we've been playing. Now, me personally, I haven't played that much this week, just a bit of Guild Wars 2. Oh, and I did play The Walking Dead, the finale. That was awesome. Like, that was one hell of a finale. So I recommend everyone try that out if you haven't already. Charles, what have you been playing this week?
Honestly, coming off of the film festival, I didn't really have much time to play anything. And my next task is to finish Whispering Willows finally and The Walking Dead finale, which I hope we do a podcast to discuss it because I've heard nothing but great things about it so far. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. How about you, Austin?
Nothing. I've not played anything for quite some time.
That's unfortunate. How about you, Joe?
Okay, so so this was supposed to be the week that I was going to go buy my PlayStation 4 because I've been waiting for it. I was waiting on like ratings bonuses and that kind of stuff. So I instead had to put the money towards fixing my car so I could, take road trips back home and to go see my girlfriend and stuff. So I haven't really played anything. I did play a little bit of. I've been trying to go back and beat Chrono Trigger. So I did play a little bit of that this week, but I was gonna play The Last of Us, the remaster, but I'm still waiting to go buy my PS4 before I go buy The Last of Us.
Okay, so you're a retro gamer. That's cool.
A little bit.
Yeah, I still need to play Chrono Trigger myself.
Man, I got near the end of Chrono Trigger. I was playing it on my cell phone, and then that phone bricked, so that save file went away, and I haven't played it since. But I loved it so much; it was really good.
Yeah. As a Final Fantasy fan, I owe it to myself to play that game. So, yeah.
That's the same reason I went back and played it because I've played Final Fantasy for since I was like 10, 11, 12. So I figured I'd go back and try that out.
Yeah, and it ages well.
Very well.
Oh, yeah, I need to do that. How about you, Mike? What have you been playing this week?
I got Madden 15, so that and Forza 5 is pretty much all I've been playing this week. Oh, sorry, Max Curse of the Brotherhood. I'm really enjoying that game.
Okay. Now I am from the UK, but I'm still curious. How is Madden this year?
Personally, I think it's the best Madden since 2005.
What a statement!
I think this version of Madden to me because I didn't like Madden 20. I didn't like Madden 20. I didn't like Madden 25, the one that came out last year.
Yeah.
But this year's version shows potential. Like I think if they build off this for the rest of these console generations, I think this console generations of Madden will be amazing.
Well, they finally made a good defensive one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Defense is fun to play, especially if you're a defensive lineman or end. Like trying to get pressure on the quarterback is amazingly fun, and it's realistic now. Quarterbacks don't get 8 seconds to throw a ball, and they can't drop back 60 yards to throw a deep pass. Like all of that's gone. Like it's really hard to cheese in this game now. I mean, it's still early on. People are people. They're gonna find ways to cheat and whatnot, but EA seems to have done a solid enough job. Only complaints I have is that I don't think that you can do team up in this year's Madden. I don't think you do the 2v2 and 3v3, which is weird. And I'm hearing they're taking it out of NHL too. So I'm like, I don't know what EA's thinking. It's like, put that back in. Like that's one of the coolest, man. That's like the best thing they added to Madden last gen. That's the only cool thing they added to Madden last gen, honestly. And you may have taken it away.
I don't know, it may be some kind of limitation that they didn't see with the new engine that they're running,
That's
like
what
a
I'm
bug or
thinking.
something. Yeah.
I played 1v1 online. Like, I played head to head online. The online actually works pretty well. If you both have solid connections, it works very well. I'm 2-0 by the way with my Bears. So yeah, come see the boy. I'm handing L's out. If you want an L real quick, yeah, they're on sale. So
Well,
come and get them while
hey,
they're hot.
when I get my system, I would come and play you, but I heard that Carolina Panthers don't even have an offensive line in that game, so I don't know if
I don't know what
do
you're talking about. Everyone's using
that.
Cam Newton. Oh my God! Don't get me started on the Panthers in that game. Those dudes. Cam Newton is he's craft. That's how much cheese he is. He's absolute craft. It doesn't make any sense to me how his throw on the run. I don't know what I forgot the numerical rating they gave him, but he throws on the run how like Peyton Manning throws standing still. It makes no sense to me. He doesn't stand still to throw. It's like you're Cam Newton. You better be running where you throw, or it's not gonna work. I don't get it.
You know the
But
crazy
yeah,
thing? That's
enjoying
really
it,
how
though.
it is in real life. Because when he's in the pocket, he overthrows everybody. So I can kind of understand that.
Makes sense.
Cool. So Madden sounds cool this year. I have no knowledge of it. You know, I'm from the UK. But yeah, so let's jump right into the topics. First topic, Assassin's Creed Unity has been delayed to November, which is very strange because, you know, the game was set to come out in October and they pushed it back a month. And EA also did that with Dragon Age. So what is up with these delays? Because there's rumors that they're actually going to delay GTA next gen to next year. So the delays continue. Well, what's going on, guys? What do you think, Austin?
It's like 2 weeks, isn't it? It's just a 2 week delay, I think.
Yeah, it's like 2, 3 weeks or something like that.
I mean, if they think they can fix whatever issues they are detecting, so I don't get another Assassin's Creed 3 overt emphasis on glitches, then I'm fine with that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, there's never been a situation where a delay has hurt a game from a technical standpoint. So, I mean, we'll see. October's pretty packed, apparently. I don't know what's left, but people keep on telling me it's pretty packed.
Well, now November's packed because, you know, these games are being delayed till November now, so that month is going to be stacked.
Man,
I
I
mean,
bet you they delayed Assassin's Creed to November, so then it comes out in November and it doesn't get hit with all those Black Friday sales. Because Assassin's Creed is usually one of the games that goes on sale on Black Friday. Not
That is
this
a good
year.
point.
Yeah, because
I mean,
didn't Black Flag come out last year in November?
Was it November? I thought Black Flag was October, and then November Black Flag was like $20 on Black Friday.
I remember seeing it in like being advertised for November, but I mean I could be wrong. It could have been like late, like real late October.
yeah,
I think it had two
I
different dates. I think on
thought it
some
was like
in November. What was you saying,
wasn't.
Austin?
I know.
I thought he got a new wire. Is someone stepping on the wire?
His hamster gave up. Is not running on the wheel anymore. It's done.
Did the cops finally catch Omar from the wire? Is that what's going on with that?
Hey, it's funny you say that because I literally just finished that show 2 days ago.
Oh, classic show.
Show's amazing.
Yeah.
Almost as good as Top Boy.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys think that the reason these developers are pushing these games back is because, like, these new consoles, like, it seems like it's harder for them to develop on there, and, you know, they keep having to work out all the kinks and resolutions and frames per second and all that stuff. So
I don't
could
think
it be
the
the new
issue.
consoles?
I don't think the issue is necessarily that it's difficult. Is that these guys are underestimating the time frame for it. Like they just automatically think they can do it in a certain amount of time, not realizing that hey, this is going to be a more intricate thing to do. But with the Assassin's Creed one, with a 2 week delay, I can only think of two things, and that's what Mike said, or just a small bug that can be fixed. Because that's not a long delay. That's not like what these other games have been running into. GTA into next year is kind of a bigger deal, though.
Well, is GTA going to get Heist finally next year if they delay it that long?
I was just about to ask. Honestly, I don't know why people care. I don't know why people are so excited to pay $60 for a game you just paid $60 for, and you still don't have the complete game they promised you. Like, you still don't have heists, and yet you're ready to give Rockstar more money for underperforming the promises they gave you. Like, I don't get this. So, like, them delaying the game till next year, I don't care. I really don't. I'm not buying it regardless. I'm still waiting for heist mode to see if it actually works. If it works, cool. But I'll be playing that on 360 if I do play it ever again.
Hmm. And if they do delay the game, we better get Heist this fall at least.
Yo,
I'm starting to think heists it's vaporware. Like, we're not gonna see heist mode. Like, I think we've been bamboozled. Like,
Heist
heist is gonna be like the agency. It's gonna be like Agent on PS3. Like, it's just not coming out, and no one's gonna know what happened.
You know what? No, you know what's gonna happen? Heist is gonna take its own life and become its own game, like
Don't even say
Battlefield
that.
Hardline.
But watch them make a new state of emergency, and it's just heist mode, and that's what it's gonna be.
Heist is going to be like the detox of GTA 5.
The detox. Oh my god. Yeah, in that case, you won't be seeing that until the Lord comes back. So let that go.
Oh man. Well, hopefully we don't get any more delays this year because there's a serious lack of games already. So we just want to play games. But
You know what? You say that every time, and every time we do a podcast, there's a delay. So I'm gonna need you to stop saying that.
yeah,
I mean, hell, Rich is delayed right now. Do you see what you're doing, Gary? Do you see what you're doing?
I'm sorry for jinxing everything. But yeah, moving on. I don't know who's into Dragon Age Inquisition here. I know Austin is, but they announced the co-op multiplayer mode, and it actually seems kind of fun. And there's been a lot of positive feedback around it. It will be similar to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, where you basically it's basically horde mode. But with this one, it seems like there's a heavy emphasis on loot and collecting loot and everything. So that seems cool. What do you think about it, Austin?
Well, I mean, I'm excited because apparently it's got no bearing on the single player. Like Mass Effect 3, you could boost galactic readiness. I mean, with the way the combat of the third one's shaping up, it looks like it could be a real blast if you're playing with the right teammates. I'm kind of excited. I think it looks good.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited. I hardly get excited about multiplayer when it's like a really story-driven single-player game. I'm really not fussed about multiplayer at all. But seeing that, it kind of made me excited a bit because I love games where you collect loot and everything. So it seems like it'll be fun.
Well,
Charles.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have felt I used the term tacked on. But just because it's multiplayer added to a historically single-player only franchise, but if you look at, I mean, you guys might disagree, certainly, but I look at Uncharted 2, which ended up having a great multiplayer component. I look at Mass Effect 3, which I ended up really liking the multiplayer component of, and even something like Assassin's Creed. Sometimes the single-player only games that add multiplayer can surprise you with the quality of the multiplayer that is added. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Charles?
I think it's great to find out a game that was already worth the money from Jump Street is getting something announced so far down into or so close to the release date. I think the only reason Austin would have even remotely tacked on, quote unquote, is because we're just finding out about it now. But that could be something that they purposely kept a secret this entire time, and I think that they did. I hope. I mean, this is a bonus thing because, like I said, I was going to pay the money for it anyway, so I don't have a complaint about it. I'm interested to see how deep the content gets. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A good deviation away from the single player. So I'm all game.
Okay. Joe, have you had any experience with Dragon Age, and have you seen any of the footage?
I've, you know what? I haven't had any experience with it, but I have seen some of the footage, and it's one of the like newer games that I would give it a chance. Like if I had the spare money, I would be like, okay, let me try this out. So, and I'm not real big on like co-op, like multiplayer stuff. Like I'm always playing like pretty much by myself. So I mean that wouldn't have like nothing, for me, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? Michael A. is
He's at a loss for words.
okay.
He's still going along.
All right. Well, while he's gone, I have some breaking news that was just sent to me in a text message by Coalition member Carl Daniel. And it says, after years of anticipation, the long-awaited PC version of GTA 5 could soon be cancelled, according to a Rockstar employee. It continues to say, during the interview, Rantic chairman John Hofberger stated that the PC version of GTA 5 could soon be cancelled due to corporate problems. The next-gen console launch dates are still intact, but the PC game launch has been agitating for Rockstar staff. What do you guys think of that?
Man, y'all better go ahead and get ready for GTA Heist for $60. That's what I think. It's gonna happen. Like, man, that really blows. I feel for my PC people because I'm one of them now. So I wouldn't have bought GTA on PC because I already beat it on my PlayStation 3. But that really sucks to be waiting for that game for this long and then it just get canceled. It really blows.
I can tell you now, as a PC guy, a lot of people are going to be pissed about this if this is true, because I spoke to a friend about this just the other day, because he was asking me what system I'm going to get GTA on if I buy it again. And I was like, man, I'm thinking about going PS4 because, I want to play multiplayer with all my friends and everything. But then I was like, man, imagine how it's going to look on PC and all the mods and everything. Like, there's a huge mod culture for, Grand Theft Auto 1.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. Like I've seen the ridiculous amount of mods that people have made with it, and it's really incredible stuff. And for that entire community to kind of have that snatched away for them is gonna hurt Rockstar's pocket in the future, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be a big blow to, PC gamers if true. Austin, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm just about the furthest you could get from a PC guy, quote. But I still do think everybody should have the opportunity to play something. Well, I mean, that's a fuzzy area. I mean, everybody should have I think in regards to multi-platform, I don't see why not put it on the PC. Largely because, yeah, you mentioned there's a huge modding community, and for sake of not kind of stumbling over my words, I've seen what they've done when it comes to the mods for Grand Theft Auto 4, and I'm pretty blown away. Some of those mods are pretty incredible. But at the same time, please forgive me for saying this, at the same time, if all you want to do is mod the game, obviously I think you could still entertain yourself with taking another crack at GTA 4. There are guys out there who are PC only, and I think GTA 5 was enjoyable, and I think they should enjoy it too. But given that at this point it's going to be on every single console save the Wii U, of course, there are other alternatives and opportunities to purchase Grand Theft Auto 5, I believe.
That's a dick statement, man. Just be like, hey, sorry, your $1,000 PC isn't getting this GTA. You can go buy this inferior console to what you currently have, so you can play GTA. That
inferior console which still has the lockdown on Red Dead Redemption.
That's a slap in the face, man.
Yo,
I
Man,
don't.
I feel for these guys.
I mean, it's a shame, but I can't feel that. It's. Like I said, I think everybody should have the opportunity to play something. But if you're dumping $1,200 into a PC, I have no sympathy that you can't go out and buy like a cheap PS3 or 360 at this point. If you really want to play it that bad.
I don't have sympathy for PC people on this because there's tons of games on PC that aren't on console and never will be on console. So to me, it's like it's give and take. It's a pro and con situation. GTA should be there. Other GTA's have been there, but I mean, it'll get there when it gets there. Do you see
yo,
the mods? Like you said, the mods. You've seen the mods they're doing already on GTA 4 to give it amazing graphics and whatnot. So it'll get there eventually.
And it's
this is
pretty
true
amazing.
though.
I mean, what they do, I tip my hat off to the mod community, but dick comment it may be. It's not like you are forced to sit there without experiencing Grand Theft Auto 5. There are other means affordable to you.
But yo, if this is true, get ready for Rise of the Tomb Raider reaction part 2 from PC.
But I mean, that would be slightly different.
That is different. That's not a timed release. That's
Yeah, that's not a timed
getting this.
release. That's them saying you're not getting this game,
Yeah,
and you're not getting it just because you're not getting it. Even though it literally costs us nothing to port it over. We could just port over a cheap version of the Xbox One or PS4 version that we know every PC in the world could fucking run with no problem, and then let you guys make mods to make the game look and run better. But we're not going to because lol. Like, no, that's completely different than you might have to wait 2 months for a better version of the same game.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Tomb Raider situation is completely different, but I think whereas the Rise of the Tomb Raider reaction was irrational from gamers, this is actually, I could understand if people get mad at this.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. No, my fault. Yeah, you're just
So,
saying just the reaction itself of a similar magnitude.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's. I mean, I don't want to say it's a matter of greed, but you look at, like Cliff Basinski used to talk about it all the time. You look at Rockstar out there consistently when it comes to maybe when they release something, not every year, but even with Activision, I think, even with Call of Duty in play, your Grand Theft Auto and hopefully, knock on wood, your Red Dead Redemption always has the ability to just blow away the sales charts. And I think it's a situation where Rockstar knows that they could sell maybe 10, $15 million or 15 million copies. If they go PC route, I just think it's the mindset that if they go, they can help dictate the console sales a little bit. They can say no, we don't want Xbox to put it on sale. They can't really go to Steam and say, oh yeah, please don't sell it for $4.99 this weekend. But it's that fear that I guess it boils down to piracy. Rockstar is so afraid of someone playing their game for free. They want to see profit for every person who plays their game. That you're just not going to see them, I think, take that chance in that market.
I don't think it's piracy. I think, judging by the comments, the statement, it sounds like they're having technical issues with it. Like, it sounds like it's too.
And that just seems like a Rockstar issue just overall. I mean, like they promised Heist like what 3 months after GTA 5 was released, and now they're not even going to port it over to the PC gaming. Like, I'm not a big PC fan, but like, so be it. If you want to play it on PC, whatever. But it just seems like Rockstar in general is like dropping the ball on a bunch of things with this game.
Yeah, it's. Now, I didn't play Max Payne 3 on PC. I didn't like Max Payne 3 that I played on my 360. It was a nice console. It was a good-looking game. But apparently Rockstar handled the PC port, and they did it fairly well. But, I do think there is that fear. I think that's why we never saw Red Dead Redemption on PC. I think a lot of these console-only guys do kind of have an issue with piracy, but I just don't see how hard or how different it would be to because consoles are now more PC-like in architecture than
I
ever
mean, these
before.
guys, they made $1 billion off the game in like a week, or no, or they sold 1 billion or something like that. So they
Yeah.
made tons of money off of this game already. Not to mention the online component has microtransactions. So I just don't feel like it's piracy. Me personally, I probably think that it's the GTA Online part that they're having trouble with. They're having trouble, building that for PC, I guess.
Well, I mean, I just think it's, you're not going to build a better online network than on a PC. I just think there's no such thing as having too much money when it comes to these corporations, particularly in the case of 2K. Um, and I think, a lot of people are hesitant of bringing stuff over to that market, not even just out of based off realities, but, hypothetical fears. Max Payne, or not Max Payne, Alan Wake. I liked Alan Wake. I don't know if anybody else did, but I mean, hell, Alan Wake was like the most pirated game that year. If it had reached the sales that were actually in turn pirated, we would be getting a sequel. I think that fear is alive. I don't think necessarily that fear is going to be persistent to everybody, but I do think the fear of piracy plays into it.
Okay, well, hopefully this story develops more, and we'll learn all the details surrounding it. But moving on to the next topic, this topic really caught me off guard when I heard about it. So they announced a game. It's like a crossover kind of thing between Pokemon and Tekken, and it's called Pokken, I think, Tournament, and it's for Japan Arcade. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that because it's really out there. Big
Uh,
details.
well, first update. I don't know if anybody saw the latest news on it. Is that there won't be any Tekken characters in it at all. They
Okay.
did they did finally confirm that, which I'm fine with that. That's not an issue whatsoever. I think it's gonna be kind of cool. Cause I'm kind of excited to play with Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee in a fighting game. I'm probably gonna spam the shit out of the controller while I'm playing with him because I'm not that good at fighting games. But I think it's cool. Like it's out of left field. No one expected it. I hope it gets enough interest to come to the U.S. They say that it will, but I don't think that's a sure thing just yet. But I think it'd be cool. What's frustrating though is that if I get this before the freaking Street Fighter and Tekken game, I'm gonna be a little pissed.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. What do you think about it, Michael?
And honestly, I mean, when I saw the trailer, I was thinking, oh snap, it's coming to the Wii U finally. Like an actual Pokemon game. This is going to be huge for them. And then I saw them fighting, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't understand. Who in the FGC is like, I've been asking to play Tekken with Pokemon characters. People in the FGC already play Pokemon and already play Tekken. I mean, I don't know. It'll sell just because it has Pokemon in its title, but I don't care. I'm not playing this shit.
Like I feel like this
Interesting
game is
thing.
like super late though. Like this should have been a game that like came out like at the height of like Pokemon.
I mean,
That too.
Pokemon still sells crazy. I mean, I'm just saying, like, why are you doing this? Like, if I'm Nintendo, why not just make an actual Pokemon game for the Wii U? Why are you doing this? Like, the last time I can remember, because even with the N64, when they made that Pokemon Snap, I remember that's the first reaction. I was like, the fuck? I don't want to take pictures of Pokemon. Like, people would want to
Shut
play.
your mouth!
Like, that makes no
Pokemon
sense to me.
Snap is the shit. Don't you dare, Michael.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just saying, like, it makes no sense. And then they finally released Pokemon Stadium, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Here we are on the Wii U. I'm like, why don't you like make a Pokemon Stadium 2 where
Yeah,
people
wow.
can connect their Pokemon X and Y to Pokemon Stadium and fight. And then
That
it would
really
also
makes no
support the
sense.
future Pokemon game that's coming out. I think it's Sapphire and Ruby or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that'd be 4 Pokemon games supported through the 3DS. So that'd be 3DS connectivity to the Wii U that you promised. That's like 10 birds with one stone. And yet Nintendo's like, lol, Pokemon Tekken. I mean, I don't understand this company anymore. I can't defend them. I can't defend this. Go have at it, fanboys. I got nothing.
And you know what?
I got
Actually,
nothing.
with them making the announcement that Tekken characters aren't in the game, what the hell is the Tekken part of this?
I know that's what I was
It's
thinking.
supposed to
Like,
be the combat. The
But
combat engine.
I watched the gameplay, and it's 3D, but it doesn't look like they move on the 3D plane. It's just on the 2D plane.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was thinking.
I'm like, what's Tekken about this? Why did y'all have to mash
Oh, they couldn't.
Pokemon and Tekken anyway?
They couldn't put Tekken characters in a game because if they put Tekken characters in this game, no one would ever take Tekken seriously after that. I mean, Tekken's already on the verge of being a joke. There's a fucking panda that you fight with. Like, if I see Heihachi get beat up by Pikachu, I'm done with the franchise. I don't want to play it anymore. So Namco was like, no, we got to draw them in somewhere. Sorry, I don't see the point of this game. It's like you dance around all these cool concepts. Just put Pokemon on the Wii U. Do you not want money?
yeah, I don't know.
That's the question I have for them. Does Nintendo just not want money? Because the game doesn't even have to be good. It could be a 1 out of 10. As long as people can play Pokemon on a Wii U, they'll buy the game and the Wii U. That's it. Just put it on there. Make Pokemon Stadium 2 go collect you billions of dollars. I don't. It's like they don't want money because they're too lazy to carry it. I don't know. This shit's just weird to me.
But then, you know, if they put Pokemon on the Wii U and then continue to do it, does it then devalue the 3DS platform? Because that's the reason why most people buy it.
But I mean, at this point in time, in the 3DS's life, why would they care about devaluing it? It's already
It's on its way out.
It's a complete monopoly of the handheld market anyway, and it does nothing but print money for them. They don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. They need to boost the Wii U. This game coming out would do that. Like, overnight, literally overnight, this game, Nintendo would be hiring more people. The economy globally would be improving, but they don't want to do it. Honestly, my theory is that it's like, because when the money gets shipped to them in profits, like, they just don't want to carry it. Like, money's heavy to them or something. So they're like, I don't want to do this. That's the only reason I can think of. This makes no sense. They would make the absolute most of shit tons money that they could make. I can't even. There's no terminology for this. And these people are probably like, yeah, I don't want to carry that shit. That looks really heavy. So
That's
let's not make
stack
this
of
game.
money right there.
The only reason I can think of. Can you give me another good reason?
No, I can't.
I mean, like, I've always thought it's a situation where, okay, the reason the Vita and the PSP could never top the DS and the 3DS by extension is because Nintendo has designed its entire handheld ecosystem on pick up and play. Things you can pause and put down. Pokemon's a game that's best suited for that. I just don't see how it could be equally compelling on a home console.
But it was equally compelling on a home console. That's what happened with Pokemon Snap. People loved Pokemon Snap.
I think people love
People
Pokemon
love
Snap.
Pokemon, and in Pokemon Stadium, the only Pokemon that I actually played all the time was the one on the 64. I didn't care about the handheld ones. I mean, I understand it's a handheld game. I understand it's a quality one on handheld, but the presentation of the fighting and everything on consoles, like, it was actually interesting. I would watch people play and say, "This is pretty cool." So I'm like, you could do that again. Pokemon fans are asking you to do this again. They're not. You could literally make Pokemon. They could literally take Pokemon X/Y. Then, like, I'm not even asking for them to, like, upgrade just take that game and, like, make Pokemon Z and put it on the Wii U, and people would buy it. That's how Pokemon fans are. That's why I'm asking why they don't want money.
I'm not completely denying that, there should be another stadium. I'm just saying, particularly, people are always wanting, like, a Pokemon home console RPG. I was referring to that specifically. But yeah, let's do another. I mean, I think Snap is garnered. I think a Snap could work with that gamepad perfectly.
No. I'm not going to let that slide into this conversation. We're not going to get another Snap. I don't want another Snap.
We are going to get another Snap.
No. Like, I hear you.
Yeah, I see. I just realized what he's doing. I am not condoning Nintendo making Pokemon Snap. Let that be on record. Okay,
No,
would
Oh,
they
so-
make money making
I'm
Pokemon?
gonna have great time playing
Yes.
Pokemon.
They would make tons of money making Pokemon Snap too. Should they do this? No.
No.
Sometimes you have to consider. You got to put the needs of the world before your own sometimes. And Pokemon Snap does nothing positive for the
I
world.
think we figured out Austin's ultimate agenda was to sneak Pokemon Snap.
Sneak Pokemon Snap into, because I'm like, wait, why are we even talking about that? Like, who played that game? Like,
I
what?
will have my pick of Gyarados in 1080p. Oh my God, selfies
But no,
and Pokemon.
who played
Snap.
Pokemon
Oh my
Snap more
God.
than 3 times though?
That's the reason. That's the other I don't want to monitor because Pokemon selfies. Do we need this in
Pokemon
our lives?
Oh
You
my
really don't
God!
wanna go
Please,
there.
God, no!
Pokemon selfies.
Pokegram instead of Instagram. It's gonna be Poke. Like, do we need all this happening? I don't need this happening. I don't need to see a video game where Pokemon take pictures of their Poke pellets or whatever it's called that they eat instead of eating it like human beings do, or fucking any Pokemon that has actual feet taking pictures of shoes instead of wearing them. I don't need to see that in the video game. I have to deal with the stupidity enough with actual human beings. Like, no. Make a Pokemon game where they're fighting, because that's what Pokemon do. They fight each other.
Can't you? Hey.
I just realized Pokemon is basically slavery, but whatever. Let them fight each other for the enjoyment. Yeah, it just hit me. Pokemon is basically slavery. Like, these people fight for
I've discussed
the
that with
enjoyment of humanity. Like, why? Like, there's no other reason a Pikachu is fighting a Charizard. Like, why are they fighting? It's because these two dick human beings are forcing them to fight. It's like dog fighting. Why are we allowing that?
Maybe we
Michael
need
Vick was in prison for 2 years for making dogs fight. Like, where's the consistency in humanity? I don't understand this world anymore.
I can't. Maybe you need a Pokemon Assassin's Creed like crossover where like Pikachu becomes an assassin and goes like then goes to rescue everyone. And
I mean, what I would do is I have a washed up Raichu, right? Because Pikachu is washed up, and he's ready to fight the system. He's had enough.
Pokemon Freedom Cry.
And you see him in the assassin's cloak with the dagger, and he's just and in one day Ash Ketchum is just walking, and he just gets taken out. I would play that game. I would play the shit.
Man,
I'd play the heck out of
with that hood on
Yeah.
would just be too damn adorable. I don't know if I could keep it together.
And the Templars would be anybody he sees with a Pokeball. Because if
Team
you have a
Rocket.
Pokeball, you are a fucking oppressor. You are the oppressor, and you need to die. You know what? Nintendo, holla at your boy. We can make this happen.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, they need to hire you or something, man.
Yeah, as long as they don't hire Austin, because then we'll all be playing Pokemon Snap too, and that needs to not fucking happen.
Pokemon Snapchat.
We're getting
Oh, no. You should never
That would be
say that
the
out
worst
loud.
game ever.
Why did you say that out loud? That's gonna happen now.
Let's bring it to 2014 and we'll make Pokemon Skype. It's gonna
Someone's listening to this show, and they're like, "Wow, that plan is genius. Let's make Pokemon Snapchat." That just became a thing because of you. You need to apologize right now. Absolutely horrible.
I want my Pokemon Freedom Cry now. That's what I want.
But in all seriousness, though, someone really needs to explain to me why Nintendo doesn't like money, because I don't get it.
They've got a hangar with like 4 billion yen sitting in it somewhere.
I suppose maybe that's what it is. It's like, man,
And for what Mike said, they're scared to move it. It's too
they're
heavy.
scared to move it. They don't have the space. They're like, we don't like the color. You know, Yen is kind of a dingy white. It clashes with our black suits. I can't, give me a legit reason for them not to do this. I can't come up with it.
I think they made too much money off of the Wii, the original Wii, and now they're just trying to spend it.
I'm with you on that, because they had so much money off that original Wii. It's like there's no numbers for this. Like, I thought there was no limit to how high numbers went, and then we released the Wii.
And
We
they
know
were
the
laughing
limit of
at
numbers,
you.
and then they laughed into the bank. They had the highest number possible, and then they kept getting money after that. What do you call that? Like inverse money, where they now owe money because they have money? I don't know, but this what is it? How do you pronounce Pokken? Yeah,
Well,
Okay.
such a bad idea. I'm just waiting for the Digimon fucking fighting game.
Hey, look,
And-
Digimon cross Pokemon would be a much better conversation than Pokken.
I'm not playing either of those games, honestly.
Yeah, all right, you play Pokemon Snap then. I'll play.
I'm not playing that either. The only person here who wants Pokemon Snap is Austin.
Michael, come over, man. We'll play some Pokemon Snap. Come on.
No.
It's not Pokemon.
I am still upset that they made money off of people looking at pictures of Pokemon as if there wasn't internet when the N64 was out and you couldn't sit on a computer and look at fucking pictures of Pokemon.
It's
It
not like
wasn't
I'm
like you weren't even getting like
It's not like
you
I'm
weren't even
advocating.
getting legit SD quality Pokemon pictures. They were
It's
polygonal Pokemon. So
It's
it
not
wasn't
even like I'm advocating, hey, you Pikachu. Nobody wants that to come back.
You
I'm
need
saying,
you shouldn't. I mean, you need to stop digging in the well of trash ideas and bringing them up because no one here remembered Hey You Pikachu. Now everyone's thinking about it. If there's people googling it right now, that was
Hey, man.
unnecessary.
He just wants to bang the drum a little bit, man. That's all.
Yeah,
just let me bang this
close.
drum, bro.
Can we please not bring that back to this podcast?
I don't think he understands that that's not the saying, and he
That's not saying at all.
I'm gonna
It's
send
not.
it to you. I'm gonna send. I reiterate. Hold on.
just like beating dead horses in racing, or what was it saying? I don't have a dead horse in this race or something. He said. I was like, what? I don't have a dead horse in that race. I was like, I don't know what that means.
I don't have a horse in this fight.
Oh yeah, I don't have a horse in this fight. There you go. And I was kind of like, I don't understand why horses would be fighting.
Yeah,
I
don't think anyone ever was fighting and looked around for a horse.
Hey man, it's an opponent battle. You're what's the Pokemon horse?
He's irrelevant, is what he is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with Pokemon too. Like,
Too many.
there's more Pokemon than actual species of animals on Earth now. It's like 19 million of them. So how the hell do you remember them? And then you find out that like there's only like 10. Originally there was only like 5 types. Now there's 12. So there's literally duplicate Pokemon that just look different, but they're the same fucking Pokemon.
That's why I lost interest in Pokemon, man, because they just started
It's
going.
the same game.
Like
Maybe
how many Pokemon?
Pokken tournament may be a way for them to clean up the roster and kill off a lot of them. Maybe that's what it is.
Because I don't know how many Pokemon do you really need that just spit fire out of their mouth? You don't need
Charles,
600 of them doing it.
Are you
Tony, we have-
suggesting Poke genocide?
Genocide? Yes.
A Poke genocide?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I'm really, you know what? I'm just spoiled. I'm disappointed that a group of grown men just spent 20 minutes talking about Pokemon. I just realized that as well.
Yeah,
And I'm not even a Pokemon fan.
Before we finish, the free dictionary, the idiom to bang the
Okay,
drum. To speak
you need to
easily
let that
about
go
something
right
that you
now.
support. And the example they give is, once again, she was banging the drum for preschool nurseries. That's a weird example.
I don't know what that means, Austin.
But no.
That-
Wait,
that
you didn't even
example-
use it. You didn't even use it that way though. Because you were like, I don't mean to bang the drum. Like that's her.
Yeah, I don't mean to bang
Yeah.
the drum. I'm
Yeah,
like, what do
I
you?
don't mean to. I don't mean to, like, kind of make a plug.
No, she was. No. Next topic.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
To plug something, to advertise.
She was championing a cause, not just like plugging an advertisement.
She was banging the drum.
Oh my god. Is Gary even there anymore? I think he left us.
I'm here. I think
He
you should
got
just
so
let
worn
Austin
out.
have that one. Let Austin have that one. If he wants to use that phrase, then we'll let him. And
You can make a podcast called so let's bang the drum.
Hey, get on in here. Let's bang the drum. Okay, episode 42. We go ahead.
But yeah, moving on to the next topic. So, Ninja Theory, apparently it's confirmed that they're not doing Devil May Cry 2, which will be a sequel to the one, DMC, basically. So Capcom will be continuing with Devil May Cry 5, which is confusing, but, basically it's Capcom picking up where they left off as opposed to where Ninja Theory left off. So, what do you guys think about that, Charles?
Well, if they pick up where they left off, I think that's really dumb. Because even though I was one of the people that was a little wary of the DMC reboot and the new character design, it grew on me. I played the game, I beat it, I loved it. And I thought Ninja Theory was heading in a really good direction. if they go back to the old thing, like four was an okay game. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as the previous games, not counting two. But I think they should just continue with what was set up for them. Like why just reboot or reboot? Like we already see enough of that in other mediums. Like just keep going. We'll be fine. And if you need to, if you worry about money, make an exclusive deal like Tomb Raider, like a timed exclusive, and get your money and just put it out.
They need to not do that. Why would you advise a company make a timed exclusive?
No,
So we
the
can
only
go to
reason
that
the only reason I say
stupid
that is because Capcom is in one of those. It seems like they're in dire straits right now.
Yeah, they
Because
need.
they were talking about. Yeah, they
Oh,
were
I
talking
know.
about.
And that's why, like, when people are hearing this, I'm like, yeah, let me help you guys out. Do not play Devil May Cry 5. It will not be a good game
Or that.
Why'd you say that?
because Capcom's
The
making it.
Yeah. How about, you know what? Personally, I'd rather them do an Onimusha title. If we're gonna reboot something, reboot Onimusha and just let, because Ninja Theory,
I forgot all about that game till you just mentioned it.
Yeah, Ninja Theory said specifically that one day, quote unquote, that they would do it. They're focused on Hellblade. Let them finish Hellblade and start working on DMC2 later while Capcom tries to do Onimusha. I prefer them to do that because I really enjoy that game. And if we're gonna have freaking reboots stuffed in our face every week, I'd rather it be something that I really enjoy. And Onimusha has had it.
I'm honestly, I'm gonna say this. I mean, and I know I'm the one who wants. I want Shenmue 3. You know, I want a new Jet Set Radio, but those are sequels. I don't count those as reboots because they're not. I'm tired of the reboots. Like in movies and everything. I want people to actually, I don't know, create a fucking idea and take risks.
Okay,
Instead
okay.
of saying, I can't think of a game, so I'm going to take your game and make it again. I don't want that.
Let me clarify. I didn't actually mean that. The reboot part. I want them to do Onimusha again, and I want them to bring it into this generation, not remake the first one. I said reboot because that's what everyone is doing instead of just.
Oh, you mean like
the story.
you just want the franchise again, basically?
Yes, I want the franchise again.
That I can support. Yes.
Yeah, I want that franchise again with the tech that we have now, and I want them to go the very dark route that they have with the very first two. And
Yeah, the first two were like because they started adding comedy and light shit in the third one. I was like, eh.
Yeah, and it was entertaining for what it was, but the first two were incredible in my opinion, and I just want that now. Like, don't ruin something that was already like people were wary and they bought it. DMC did well. Keep that going. Let them keep doing it because you're already trying to sell off your individual games from your company. Why would you pick up another one?
Shoot, they're already trying to sue companies for shit that they shouldn't be suing them for to try and make money and pay the light bill. So I mean, why are you doing all of it? I don't know. Personally, my thoughts on the reboot that Ninja Theory made. I love the gameplay and all that. I know this is stupid. I really did not like the Dante. I did not like Dante's look. I didn't like most of the artwork. Like I just didn't like the look of that new Devil May Cry game.
That's actually what like steered me away from like even
Yeah.
buying it. Was just like I looked at the cover and I was like, this looks like it's gonna suck.
Yeah, like it looks like it's a bad game. It really, even when I was playing it, I was like, this is a good game, and I was like, it doesn't look like it though. I don't know why they did this. I would rather Capcom let Ninja Theory work on the gameplay and say we're gonna make Dante look like actual Dante because that's what Dante looks like. And if you're gonna reboot him, do what everyone else is rebooting him. If you're gonna reboot Dante, make Dante a transvestite and make him Asian. Change his gender, change his race, be progressive, bro. Don't just change him to a white.
Are you banging the drum for the social
I'm banging the drum for the social justice warriors. I'm banging the drum. Smoking the peace pipe and banging the drum. Change those genders and their race. Change it. That's what I say. Either make him old Dante or change him completely. Because that new Dante they made, no, I wanted to beat him up. I didn't like him. When he died, I felt no sympathy for him, and I chuckled. I hated that character.
Wait, he didn't die. When did he die?
No, I mean like whenever I messed up and he died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Whenever
Like,
I fucked up and he
continue,
died,
and you just let it count down.
when I would continue, there were times when I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking continue. This prick is dead. I just sat there.
you and I are going to disagree because I think Ninja Theory's got a great art design in all the games I've played, and that's Enslaved. And I thought DMZ, like from a sheer color palette, I liked a lot.
No, I mean I like
And
Ninja Theory's other games. It's just this one. That Dante design was ass.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
didn't.
don't know. I love that moment where the wig flops on his head and he goes, what's he say? Like never in a million years or something. The white wig that just blows on his hair.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
humor in that game, but yeah, I didn't like the way Dante looked.
I've never met anyone who's like, yeah, that new Dante design was dope. Like everyone wants to punch him in the face. He looks like a douchebag.
You
Well,
know,
I think it's
They
also
should have.
because he acts on it.
They really should have went back to the board and changed them, just like when Infamous 2
yeah, that's
completely
what I was
changed
about to say.
Cole's figure. Like, what? Why? And
Honestly, I didn't even have a problem with that. Maybe because I'm not a big Infamous fan anyway. But I will admit, when I kind of saw, I was like, why did you do this though? Like the way he looked before was fine. Why the hell are
exactly,
you changing him?
I couldn't understand that
I mean,
at
they
all.
still changed him a bit though. Like
They
the
did.
angsty, bald, Infamous One Cole was just never did anything for me. He looked too bland. He looked like everything that's wrong with modern protagonists. At least in 2, he had a little bit more of a visual identity to him.
But I mean, what is wrong with the modern protagonist? Everyone says this, and no one can give me a
Yeah, I
concrete
don't
answer.
get that one.
'Cause
I've
I
never.
don't get it. Because I mean, most of these games do a good enough job where I can put myself or see something of myself in the protagonist. I think that's what you're supposed to do for most games, unless it's a game where you're literally trying to tell a story of another character and you don't want the person that's playing to feel like they're their character. And
I
there are
just think
games that do that on purpose, and I understand that. But for
there's a
like,
visual sense of blandness when like a good 20 main characters all look the same. And I'm not even going to hark on, because a lot of people are upset, I'm tired of these white, short-haired characters. But, I mean, you can even have a white character and make him look different. I just think for the most part, it's, you look at Red Faction, Infamous, even to a little degree, Grand Theft Auto 4, they all do have this, why do they have this buzz cut? They need something that visually makes them stand out a little bit more.
so you want them to have like I don't know the fucking moussed up, tossed hair that the young what you call it emo kids wear, or the salon hair that the fucking sissy preppy girls have. Like I don't
I didn't
know.
even know. I didn't know
I,
this was an issue.
I want them to have some
I
hair.
didn't either,
I mean,
honestly.
like I think I love the fact that we've got like a bearded hero with Joel from The Last of Us, and he's got gray in his hair.
But there's
It's
tons of characters with beards.
main
Like
character.
Sam Fisher literally has gray hair in the last two Splinter Cell games, and
And
he
I
lets his
mean,
facial hair
and
grow.
Solid Snake has been involving like
Yeah, like graying hair for like older. It's like that's the whole
Snake looked like
quote
he's about
unquote.
70 by now.
Yeah, so it's the whole quote unquote Bruce Willis archetype where like it's an older male, 40s maybe 50s that still kicks ass, which I actually like, and I think it's pretty cool considering there are dudes that are that old that do still kick ass. Like, why is that a problem? But apparently, I don't know. People,
No,
yeah,
I'm
this.
not anti. I'm not anti old dudes.
Oh,
Bring in the old dudes. I'm just saying, in particular, it's visually. I'd like it if they had a little bit more like pizzazz. Like I love the fact that Drake looks old in Uncharted 4.
he
Yeah.
does. Only thing I know about Drake was he had to wipe the damn dust out of his eyes and
God
woke up
dang
from that
it!
nap.
Why'd you even have to open this door?
Yeah.
Why do we even have to go there? Like, but okay. In the defense of the Uncharted thing, or more defense of what Mike was saying, to bring up Nathan would be unfair because this is something that we've dealt with over time. It's a story over time.
Yeah,
So the age progression is recognized, like just like with Snake, the age progression is there with the
and you know
story.
what? You're even with Splinter Cell because Sam Fisher has aged in the series.
Yeah,
I forgot
like
to think about that. Yeah, that's
if
true.
you want these older guys, like
But somehow he
you know
aged
that.
back in Blacklist. He's gotten younger.
No, I mean
No, he didn't get younger. He just got.
He still has some,
Well, no,
yeah,
I guess he's saying that because the guy they changed his name. The guy who it's a different dude doing his voice, and he does
Oh,
sound
yeah.
younger. Yeah, but like the character design, like Sam Fisher is the most yoked he's ever been in Blacklist because he's older and he's not as fast as he used to be. So he's like, I got to be in the gym lifting weights. He's got to take that Rocky Six approach where I'm not as fast as I used to be, but when I hit him, it's gonna hurt.
yeah.
It's that strength versus speed. I liked.
Yeah.
And I'm not Yeah, I actually like the Metal Gear Solid approach. I really like what Uncharted's doing, and I did like what Double Agent did in particular in the Splinter Cell series. I like it when main characters go through a visual change. Uh,
I agree.
I just think if you look at the guys from Resistance and Force Unleashed and Shadow Complex and
See,
hell, the
with
first
those, yeah,
Control.
with those, I can see what you're saying because they're all basically the same guy.
Exactly.
But you're also talking about a few first-person shooters in there. I could give a shit what they look like,
Yeah,
Well, I
exactly.
mean,
Because you never see them except during cutscenes.
first-person shooters that constantly interrupt you with cutscenes.
depending. And a lot of them have the where you're viewing the cutscene from the first-person point of view.
Yep.
I mean, not the ones I mentioned specifically, but yeah, like I don't give a damn what Gordon Freeman looks like. I don't ever have to see him in a model.
Honestly, I forget what he looks like all the time. You know, it's not like it's a fucking secret.
He's got
It's all over the fucking place, but you just forget because you're literally in first-person view 90% of the time in Half-Life. Also, I forget because Valve won't give us fucking Half-Life 3 because fuck making money, right? I don't understand.
Yeah, when is the actual date? That's the anniversary or whatever.
Of Half-Life, of the last episode of Half-Life 2 or the original Half-Life 2?
I can't remember which it is, but there was a date coming up supposedly that marked an anniversary of some sort.
Well,
We
10,
talked
10 years of Half-Life 2 is like in October, isn't it?
October.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, not to go too far off topic, I don't think they should make Half-Life 3 because they can't make it. They can't do it. It's too long of a gap. You got to hang them up and let it go.
I'm sticking to my prediction that it's gonna drop that day and they're not gonna tell anyone. Like it's just gonna show up on Steam on
The
that
only
day.
chance they could do this is if Steam Box comes out and they don't say shit, and you buy a Steam Box and it's like Half-Life 3's on the Steam Box. The fuck?
Yeah,
They
Holy
would make
shit! I
sense.
should tell my friends.
that would be pretty amazing. Not even gonna lie.
I'd buy a Steam Box.
I doubt they push that as an exclusive though.
I think they will because they
I
need to
think
sell
they
the Steam
will.
box.
They need to sell the
I mean, Steambox is still more of a service. Like 15 different companies are making
Yeah,
a
but
Steambox.
I'm
There's
still,
not one
but it would
unified
still be PC
product
exclusive.
available.
Yeah, it'll still be
It would
technically
still
PC
be
exclusive.
PC
Like, yeah,
exclusive.
other PC users can play it, but it'll be on their system. Remember, we didn't get the Orange Box collection until well after that shit was out on PC.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with them keeping it exclusive.
Yeah,
PC needs
but
its
it was
own
also
exclusives.
Alright, one more statement, Austin, and then we're
but
moving on.
we also. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say we also, got what the Orange Box. I think as Episode 2 was released, and people seem to forget this. I have it. We had an original Xbox copy of Half-Life 2 like released 2 months or something
I remember that.
after the.
And I also remember it being damn near unplayable.
Yep.
I wasn't unplayable. It wasn't as pretty as the PC game, which in
No, I didn't say
hindsight is not
unplayable. I
good.
said damn near. Like, the game would work when you turned it on. It's just that when you like tried to move, it didn't work.
I had no performance issues. I know visually it just didn't look good. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so moving on to the next topic. Amazon has acquired Twitch TV for
$970 million.
Yeah, just under $1 billion. So yeah, Google was initially trying to buy them, but then they heard the backlash, I guess, and they wanted to go back on it. So
I heard they left
I'm
because they
guessing
they feared antitrust law suits and stuff. Basically, because Twitch wasn't doing a good enough job preventing people from streaming copyrighted material and making money off of it. So they were like, "Yeah, we ain't about that life," and they left.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, that
That would
sounds
make sense
correct. Yeah.
with the things that happened right when the Google, merger was about to happen. Like with the copyright on the audio and all that.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Personally, I don't like this. I don't like that Twitch is the only streaming site now for gaming. Whenever someone has a monopoly on something, it's never good. And they've made tons of changes on Twitch.
Madden.
Such hate. Anyway, when you look at Twitch and like the changes they've made since a lot of the other
I'm
competitors,
not too.
What was that, Austin?
He needs to give his hamster some more treats.
Yeah, he does.
But
Carry
Karen,
on. Hello, Mike.
okay then. I don't hear anything you say. I think he accidentally stepped on that wire he got, and that was all that.
He got tangled up.
Yeah. Or he Kanye West through the wire, and now his internet connection is just not working.
Yeah, so I mean, what could Amazon actually do with Twitch though? Like, are they even gonna do anything with them, or are they just gonna let it have be a standalone thing basically, and
I mean,
continue
Amazon's
providing?
building up their gaming their division really heavy right now, actually. Like they just bought Double Helix from like the people who made KI originally. They bought them a couple months back. And I know they've been posting for like job openings for lots of things, whatnot, like game community for community management for many facets of gaming, whatnot. So I guess they're committed to it. It makes sense. Amazon's a great place to buy games. Lots of gamers take advantage of it. Might as well give them a place where they can watch people play games or even get information on games.
What if that factors into because isn't it called like Amazon Prime where you can like stream movies and stuff off of that?
Yeah,
What if they
Yeah.
factor those two together at some point? Because I mean that's the thing that makes the most sense to me is because Twitch is a streaming thing, so like
Yeah.
you could I mean at some point they'll probably charge so you can watch these people play games and stuff. I guess.
I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't make it a Prime thing, because I mean, I think it should just stay as a free service as it is now. And
I think if they did do that, that would kill Twitch.
yeah,
I don't think you would have a mass amount of people trying to adapt to that. That would kill Twitch. It would be done for to try to force people to get Amazon Prime.
yeah.
But that's the problem. When somebody buys something, they go around and dick around with it to the point where it does mess it up. So it wouldn't surprise me if that happened.
And
I don't
that's why I
know.
was saying I don't like when companies have monopolies on things because when that happens, it's not like people can say, "Oh, I'm just gonna go watch Hitbox or something. I'm gonna go watch what was the other one? Oh, the one owned TV. Like owned TV doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no alternatives. It's like, oh, you don't like it? Too bad. You're gonna be here.
hmm So here's the question: would you have preferred if Google bought them?
Yeah, I would. If I had to choose between the two, then yes, I would choose Google because I don't imagine a subscription type thing happening on the Google side of things.
Well, just look at Google in general. Like they buy stuff and they pretty much, I mean, they don't mess it up too much when they buy it.
Yeah, I think I can deal with the copyright stuff because I mean we have to deal with that on YouTube and all, and it's kind of surprising that Twitch hasn't had that issue yet. But yeah, I'd definitely go with Google on that end.
Yeah, I think it just makes more sense for Google. But yeah, I think there would have been some messy copyright issues if they did buy them.
I don't know. I don't see a difference between either or. Oh, look at YouTube. Oh, they messed up the YouTube comment section. I'm like, I don't mind the YouTube comment section. It's harder for you to spam stupid comments because your stuff's linked to your actual account now. So it's like, oh, this person said this. Like if I was on YouTube, I couldn't troll someone and say inappropriate things under a fake account. Like, no, it would just say my name. You would know who I was, and you could just look me up on the internet. So I mean, Google to me doesn't. I don't see Google as this big evil company. It's just weird. I don't know. Whenever you make money, people just assume you're evil. Like if you're successful, people are going to hate you. I'm starting to realize. But yeah, like people were like, oh my God, they're gonna ruin Twitch. You just won't be able to make money off other people's music. But technically, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. And I don't see how there's a point. Like even on television shows, they can't just play people's music in the background. They have to get rights for that shit. So it wasn't a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Now that they're going over to Amazon, like I want to see what Amazon's going to do with it, but I'm not hip hop hooray about it. I don't really care. I don't think it's gonna impact
Yeah, I
the
mean, for
average
me,
user.
I don't understand what kind of like marketing approach Amazon can take. Because for Google, it would be easy because people go to YouTube to look for gaming stuff anyway, so they could catch those people and send them to Twitch or whatever. But
True.
Amazon, I just don't understand. Because people go to their site to shop for things, so how are they going to tie it in, if at all? What do you think, Joe? You got any thoughts on that?
Um, I don't know. Just in general, I think it's going to be bundled up with Prime at some point because it's a streaming service, so that's the focus of it.
Yeah, that's when you were talking about how it could be marketed or whatever, or how they could benefit. Like the only way I can imagine is what Joe's saying, and through Prime.
Because they would technically be the only, like Michael alluded to, like it's a monopoly. Like they would technically be the only like major site where you could go to like stream video game watching or video game play or whatever it is. And I mean, they would just have the market on that. Like Netflix doesn't do anything like that. Hulu doesn't do anything like that. So they would have like the monopoly on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, so moving on, we've lost a couple people. We'll see if we can bring them back. But yeah, moving on to the next topic. Miyamoto, I guess he kind of went in on casual gamers, but he might have been misquoted a little bit because of the translation and everything. So, Charles, I know you had a lot to say about it. What do you think about it?
Well, my understanding was that he was taking shots at the kind of like you said, the passive guys, the complacent ones, the ones that only play. And I think we spoke on it before. The people that'll pick up and play like the popular stuff like Call of Duty and all of that, but they won't invest in more intricate games or more difficult games. That's what I got from what he was saying. Misquoted or not, I think that's what he was trying to say. Um, he wants to put a focus on the hardcore gamers. And when I say hardcore, I don't mean just people that'll play like for hours and hours, but the people that play a vast amount of genres and are willing to try new things as opposed to complaining when something changes. I think that's what he was getting at. But I think I'm sure with all the issues going on with it, they'll probably have to do another interview to kind of get some clarification. But that's the impression I got.
And like if you're gonna go at people like if the translation is actually going at casual gamers, I mean like the ones who just play like that certain brand or certain series, I mean like everybody's different. You can't get mad at people for not wanting to play your game or like a different genre of games. Like I've grown up playing sports games and action games, and like puzzle games piss me off, and I don't want to play puzzle games. So like if don't get mad at me for wanting to just play these two different genres.
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides of the argument, to be honest. I kind of see where he's coming from because over the past few years, you've got this whole culture of gamers that only play Call of Duty or what was the other game? Just niche games or well, not niche, but like mainstream games.
The
Right.
ones that
They
they
only
get
play the
recycled every year, and it's the same game basically.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Because
So
I
yeah,
look at Splatoon. Splatoon, I think, was one of the best things that we saw at E3, and that is a very unique. Um, I can't even say title genre. Like I don't really know if it has a genre that you can really put it into, but my impression from what he's saying is that these passive gamers are limiting what developers will try to do. And if that's what he's saying, and he's saying that he wants to get away from that and be more creative with games, by all means, if we're going to get original things like Splatoon out there, let's do it. Even if no one else, like if Sony and Microsoft don't adapt this mindset, or these other developers don't adapt, that's just going to make the Wii U even more valuable. Because I mean, there's some games and game styles that you really don't even get at the quality on Sony and Microsoft that you can get on the Wii. You know, because we were just talking about, you know, the Pokemons and like Smash Brothers, all that stuff, the Mario Karts and everything. The quality of those is incredible, and we don't get the Splatoon type games. And I mean, Zelda is just a big adventure game that they just fine tune really well. But you don't get the Nintendo experience anywhere else. Like if you Sony games, you'll probably get on PC. Microsoft games, you'll probably get on PC. You don't see those Nintendo games go to PC at all. You can only get them on Nintendo, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So even add more to that, I'm all for it.
Well, I think another big problem, and we addressed it earlier, is like people keep making the same game over and over and over, and like nobody wants to play that same game over and over and over again. Like you don't want to go drop $60 every year to play that same damn game over and over. Like the ideas are just like they're dwindling. Like there's not an original like game. Like it's rare to see an original game now. Like it's always a reboot or like the continuation of a series. And like I don't want to spend $60 every. Like I used to be the biggest Madden fan, and like I haven't bought a Madden since 2011. And this is the first year that I actually wanted to go and buy the new Madden in forever.
Because they have a freaking monopoly on the damn genre.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need some fresh ideas, because Madden has been, and I know this isn't the topic, but Madden has been freaking cashing in on their monopoly forever.
Yep.
Like they really add the defensive stuff. They could have not done that, and it still sell just as much as it sold.
Yep, because they didn't add it the last 6 years or 10 years that they've had this the rights to the NFL, and now they just add it.
Because I'm like, I bet money, like, they have a board, and they come up with a ton of things in one development cycle for one Madden game, but they break it down into multiple Maddens.
Oh, of course.
We'll put them this year, we'll put this in NCAA, we'll put this in Madden, just keep alternating. But if they had some competition, the gamers would benefit more.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I don't think it's just like that for Madden. I think it's like that for everybody.
Yeah, Call of Duties, the first-person shooters, they get complacent. Racing games, they get complacent. Even with racing, there's like so much that you can do, which I applaud Drive Club for what they're trying to do. Like, people clown Drive Club or whatever, but they're actually trying to add an element to racing games that isn't there. Because you either have an arcade or you have a sim. There hasn't been anything in between that, really. And except for like Juiced. Juiced was a fun ass game. Like people probably don't even know very much about it, but that game was awesome.
I look at racing games as like NASCAR. Like you're making a left turn. Like that's pretty much the basis of the game. And like
it goes deeper. It goes deeper. As long as you playing the right thing, it goes deeper. But Drive Club is doing something unique. I can't knock Miyamoto for wanting to be more creative with his titles. More power to him for it.
Austin, you just jumped back in, I think. Did you hear about the Miyamoto stuff? Is he even there?
Maybe. I see some bars.
Yeah, I see movement, but I don't hear anything. So I guess let's move on. So PSN suffered from DDoS attacks, and the attackers claim that Sony's online infrastructure isn't that great, and they're not spending the money that they're getting on securing the system and the customers' information and everything. So that was a pretty big topic over the weekend, I believe it happened. I was away from my home at the time, so I got the news late. But Charles, do you know much about what happened?
I don't know the details on it. But I don't think it's kind of a weak infrastructure thing, because the people attacking them are professionals. Because not only did they take down PSN, but they took down BattleNet, which has been around for a long time. And I know that they've changed their infrastructure multiple times. So to be able to take down BattleNet, I'm not surprised you can take down Sony or Microsoft. Like it's fresh. Like why? Because when the Sony attack happened the first time, there was some kind of social justice movement behind it or whatever, or some kind of purpose for it. But it seems like they're doing it just to do it now, and I don't understand. Like, if these are gamers, then why are you interrupting my gaming, you idiot? If you, I don't know what kind of point you're trying to prove. I don't understand why this is even happening. But other than being bored and wanting to attack a corporation of some sort, but it's whatever, man.
Well, I think it's a question of, even with the first time it went down, what was that, 2011?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even with the question with 2011, and I think it was G-Hot or whatever he was and his firmware, they kind of showed that nobody really rallied behind. Was it Lulzsec that brought it down initially?
Yeah, they took credit for it.
Nobody really rallied behind the Lulzsec, and I think that goes to show that people were very protective of their entertainment, of their media. It's not like a movie theater, It's you can't really find a way to shut down a movie theater like you can a network of games. I just think at this point you're attacking the customer more than you are the provider.
Exactly. That's all it is. Because who's in danger? You're attacking our personal information, and you're taking away our gaming time to do what? What point are you proving? I don't understand it.
They're just proving that they have the power to do it. That's it. I mean, that's it. It's just a power move. That's all.
And as we move, further into this whole digital online-only age, is this something that we have to fear? That will be a constant thing moving forward. Do you think?
Yeah, I think it is, because everything is being like digital. The digital footprint is the foundation of a lot of things now. It's like you don't have it without some kind of online presence and all, or some server running some small piece of your company or whatever. So it's going to be an issue. But there are always going to be bad people, and there's always going to be bad guys, and there's always, just like the Joker quote, there's going to be people that want to see the world burn, and those people are there. They probably need to start employing some of these guys. Maybe that's what their goal. They want a job.
To get a job?
To get a job. They want a job. Like, they're like, hey, we can hack the crap out of this, but if you pay me this much, we can set it up where you can't let this happen. Maybe that's what it is. That's the only thing I can think of.
Who needs a resume?
Like, who? Yeah, exactly. I just took down your entire company. That's resume enough.
I mean, there was also like a terrorist threat or something with these guys. They were threatening one of the Sony executives that was flying out over the weekend.
Now, to say terrorist threat, that's a very vague thing, because what it was, one of the guys that did the hacking mentioned that there may be a bomb on the plane. So that's an asshole threat, is what that is. That's not a terrorist threat. That's an asshole threat.
Okay.
Because if anyone, it doesn't have to be a terrorist to say, hey, there's a bomb on the plane and the plane has to get down. Like, they take that stuff serious.
How did he even know that he was on that plane, though?
Because, I mean, they hack and get their information, so I assume that they got his flight schedule.
Wow,
or
so these guys are that serious, huh?
Yeah, either that, or he made, like, people tweet about everything, so he's probably like, getting on plane such and such in the seat. You got the seat now. Or Instagram, and they're like, okay, we're going to get him a call. It's idiots.
Either that or he left his, like, Vita Street Pass on, and the only other guy who's got a Vita.
It's like, oh, somebody's online. Oh, we can use this.
Yeah, well, they also tried to hack Microsoft, I believe, the Xbox, and supposedly the Xbox console puts up a better fight than the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3. So are we still, I mean, we're paying for PSN now, so the service should be getting more secure. It should be getting faster. It should be getting better. Are they still going to be miles behind Microsoft no matter what? Because, I mean, Microsoft are a software company at the end of the day.
You know, I'd expect Microsoft to be ahead of the game in the software, but also if you see two companies get taken down, I would expect them to be prepared like they were.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind too. Like they can have people on task and pay attention to if there are any kind of intrusions. Like I won't say that I'm an expert on this at all because I'd be hacking and trying to get a job too, but I feel like, you know, you see Sony go down, you see BattleNet go down, and then they typically tell you how it went down, you know, between these different companies, so they can prepare, I guess. But that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Charles, man, don't sell yourself short. You are an expert. You were using Best Buy Wi-Fi to put on a podcast, man. That takes
You're right about that. That takes some skill, man.
I think, and you know, I mean, Microsoft. I mean, they're probably looking at both of those networks being taken down, but Microsoft can be taken down too. I mean, we live in this age where like it's, you know, everything is like, you know, more and more digital now, and at some point, like everything can be taken offline, and I mean that's scary.
It is. The thing is, people need to learn to live without it, if that happens.
Hell, they already took Michael A offline. Anything could be next.
Yeah, freaking Lizard, whatever the group is, they're hacking our podcast now.
I guess they didn't like the Pokemon statements.
See, you mentioned Pokemon Snap and everything goes to hell.
But yeah, I mean, let's hope this doesn't happen again anytime soon. I mean, we got Destiny coming out, you know, next week or in 2 weeks or something. So yeah, it'll be a shame if this happens when a big release like that comes out, because, you know, we need games for the PS4 right now. So let's hope that Sony secures the system and we don't have to deal with this again in the near future. So let's get into the big topic now. So Microsoft have confirmed that the standalone Kinect is coming October 7th, and it will be $150.
Boo!
Is that too much?
I told you.
Boo! Get them out of here.
That's way too much, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
That's entirely too much.
That is unnecessary. Are you serious?
I mean, most of the money for research and development went into that camera, so I didn't expect him to sell it cheap. I mean, go back and listen to one of the podcast people. I was like, this is a brilliant move for Microsoft. It's a way they can somehow, you know, sell the package for more, ideally for more money. And lo and behold,
now I will tell you this: brilliant move or not, I understand when a business move makes sense for the business, but that doesn't mean I have to be okay with it as a consumer. And I am not okay with this at all.
Yeah.
Well, the only other alternative was you were going to get like 120. You were never going to get a Kinect for $100 because at that point they just keep selling the bundle.
125 would have been fine, and that extra 25 would have been like, hey, you know, you should have bought the Kinect. You should have got the system with the Kinect. I'm like, all right, cool. I can deal with that. I can deal with my demons. That's my mistake. But 150? Now you can keep that because for one, I'm not paying $150 for voice commands and you knowing I'm in my living room because you're not developing any games for it.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree there? Because like, there's no value. There's no value at all.
Completely agree.
Oh no, it's in beyond Xbox. Record that. I don't really see much to use for it now.
Yeah, I mean, why the big deal about like voice activated stuff? Like, I have an iPhone and I rarely ever use Siri. Like, I would rather do it myself.
But Joe, you're telling me you don't want to use Cortana now for some reason because that needs to be a thing?
Because like the Kinect, on paper, the Kinect is a very, very good device. I will say that, but in application, there aren't games for it worth buying. You're paying for convenience. You want to pay that's what's wrong with this freaking world right now. We want to pay $150 for convenience.
$150 so you say, hey, turn my Xbox on.
Yeah, like who are you? If you need to do that to impress your friends, get new friends, because they just cost you $150 for no reason.
You raise your
problem.
up.
Well, that's the problem. The society we live in now is becoming lazier and lazier.
And Microsoft is trying to make bank off of that too.
And they're appealing to the laziness aspect, and people are gonna love it.
It's not even, you know, like, because I've got one, and you got to repeat yourself several times. I think my favorite aspect about, the only thing I really like, and I wouldn't pay $150 for it, but my favorite thing about Kinect on Xbox One is the ability to sign your face in just like that. That's like the only like big pro that I can appreciate. But no, it's not worth $150.
I think Kinect is a better productivity tool than it is for games because they sell the version for, like, I guess it's for PCs, and you can use it for work and medical research or whatever. Like, it sounds like that use of the Kinect is far better than the actual games console. You guys agree?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know the depth of the applications for it otherwise, but like I said, on paper it's a really good device, and if you give me the software where the power in it can be used, then I'm all for it. But the fact that they sold the Xbox without it, that I don't think people realize how bad of a move that was for the consumers.
Because they're admitting that they lied to you, basically.
Yeah, they're admitting that they lied. That shoots all of those developers in the back that were probably developing something Kinect. Because, like, you don't want to develop exclusively for the Kinect with it not being a guaranteed peripheral now. Like, that cuts into your money. When it was a guaranteed thing with the system, then by all means include Kinect features, make the exclusive Kinect games. It's also, and now you know how with the Xbox 360 you had to have two sections of games that work for 360 and games that required the Kinect, and you have to do that all over again. And I don't think that's a smart business decision or a good thing for consumers to have to decide those types of things.
Yeah, it was a bad decision, but I see why they had to make it because they had to lower that price to compete with Sony because they were getting their ass kicked. So I see why they did it in the end, but it was a bad business move,
Well, it's a shame to see it go down that way, but at the end of the day, if that means Rare is free from the shackles of Kinect, then I'm for it.
Man, nah, F that. I don't see it. I don't think it's a good. I think Microsoft lost.
I agree.
I think they lost because of this issue. Because in my mind, I can't think of a positive way to spin this at all. I think they should have just dropped the price of the system, not remove a peripheral from it. That was so ingrained
they can
into your
afford to
game
take
plan.
a loss. They should have just took a loss and lowered the price, keep it with Kinect, and just take a loss for a while. They could afford it.
Yep. And I think they would have gained in the long run by doing that instead of trying to freaking make up for their. They keep trying to make up for their mistakes with more mistakes. They're creating more problems. Like ever since E3, they've been losing over and over and over.
Yeah, because you look at Sony, and there was a time where they took a huge loss on the PS3. Like they were barely making money off of each console sold.
Yeah, but they stuck to their guns.
Exactly.
And that's what the Xbox should have done. Because I was laughing when all the E3 stuff was happening with the Xbox 180 and all that. But I really wish they would have stuck to their guns. Stick with that. Like, instead of dropping the price, get more specific on the value of what you have. People will understand that. Just keep driving into the ground. You're freaking Microsoft. You can afford the marketing for that.
I still think it's a situation where it should have never happened to begin with. Nobody wants Kinect. I still maintain it's more gimmick than it ever aspired to be, and I think it's a situation where damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think people.
The key is it wasn't a gimmick to start. it became one when they don't. It becomes a gimmick when you don't invest in it anymore. It's just there.
So wait a
That's the
second,
problem.
Charles.
Like the PlayStation Move. It was a good idea when it started, but when you don't support it, oh, that's just a gimmick.
So wait a second, Charles. You're telling me Garrus concussion shot is not a gimmick?
Wait, what? Are you talking about using the voice command?
I'm talking at the end of that's all it was. It was voice commands and like
But that's
gyrations.
that's one game, and that's a bonus. Like their game wasn't founded on the idea of the Kinect. That's just an additional feature that they didn't have to do. But if you invested in games that specifically took advantage of the Kinect, you like that the Kinect is the root of the experience. Which without having a controller, the Kinect was a good idea. And
what
I
were
was
those
on.
games that took advantage of the Kinect then? Like what did it well? What really pushed the envelope, other than the Wii Waggle translation?
The point I'm making is that it wasn't used well, and that it should have been.
I think the reason is because it can't be used well. You've got to have a control. I think you need something in your hand. I think that's why PSI didn't take off at the end of the PS2 era either.
I completely agree with you, and that's something I said since the first Kinect, because if you have a Kinect-only game, it's limited how much you can actually do in that game, because you can't really, have full movement or full control of your character like you can with a controller. So, you can only have on-rails type experiences. So, completely agree.
Well, I played Fable Journey, and I was a Fable fan, but nothing about it set the world on fire, tilting left and right in my seat. But yeah, I mean, I agree with Gary. It's just you need something tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would it not make sense? Okay, so the Kinect has the technology to recognize different objects and stuff. Then why not introduce objects to be used with the Kinect?
They
You
should.
get what I'm saying? Like placeholder, like have like guns that you hold in your hand, or a sword and shield that you have in your hand or something. Like I don't know.
That's something they should definitely try.
Yeah, like utilize it.
With the PlayStation Move, you have those gun things that you put the move stick inside, and those look cool. Having like an actual gun that you hold and everything. So they should definitely, definitely try that with Kinect, because I feel like it will add to the experience instead of just like holding up your two fingers pretending it's a gun or something.
Pew 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 pew.
I remember that. What was that, Ubisoft 20? I mean, but just the point is, outside of maybe a certain color, scanning that item in is not going to give you a sense of weight. You're not going to have the dimensions programmed when it comes to like that two-dimensional scan. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. The notion of scanning a skateboard was really cool back in 2009, but there are just so many impracticalities about it.
Yeah. Bottom line, Kinect cost too much. It was a bad idea to drop Kinect in the first place. So yeah, that's my final thoughts on it. You guys got any final words on this topic?
I mean, I guess they're gonna make their money back.
They're not gonna make their money back.
Nobody's gonna buy that shit.
You'd be surprised.
Are there even any numbers for how much the Kinect-less Xbox has sold? Like, is it actually flying off the shelves or anything?
I don't know. I think since instead of going from a crawl, they may be in a slow trot about now. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're particularly great, but I don't think they're going to catch up.
I think it's interesting that. Oh, so I was just going to say, I think it's interesting they've completely removed the Kinect from all future bundles coming out this year. I don't know why.
See, that's another thing. That's another loss if you think about. Like, that is a loss for customers at this point. To not even have it where they can get the Kinect bundle anymore, like with the other games, they want you to get if you want this bundle, you buy this, and you're gonna have to pay $150 if you want that Kinect. Instead of giving them the option of having the Kinect system, the Kinect equipped console, the one that they started with. Like,
I mean, I'm sure it'll still persist to a degree, but it's just, I also kind of point out, look at the fact that I've seen nothing but these Aaron Paul trailers or commercials for Xbox, and it'll be interesting to see if Kinect's out of the box, but the marketing campaign still pushes Kinect. I think that's where you're going to get that mindset. Well, my experience isn't complete without Kinect, and then lo and behold, there's not a lot I can do with this. I mean, I think it's a smart way to get people to buy things, and I don't want to call it a trap.
That's not a smart. That, like I said before, just because it's a smart business move doesn't make it good for consumers. Because if you look at it, that means that they're basically exploiting the lack of intelligence in their consumers.
No, I mean, it's one of those situations where I would never presume that they're. I hate to say this, but I would never presume that at the end of the day, Microsoft's biggest, or any company really, their biggest priority is, consumer satisfaction. They want money, exactly.
Yeah, but we've got to take control of these situations and explain to them that it's value, not price, that is our focus. You give us value, then you'll get the money that you want. Otherwise, we're not supporting it, and that's what it should be.
Yeah, that's highway robbery to me.
That would be quite the boycott. Be like Bane, take control of your city. Except, take control of your industry at this point. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens.
All right, that's all the topics this week. So we'll get to our final thoughts. Austin, you got any final thoughts?
I do. I don't know if you guys are Legend of Zelda fans.
Yeah, I am.
I am not.
Well, I know Michael is, and I just want to. A good friend of mine is, he's starting this initiative, 24 hours in Hyrule. It's September 4th, 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. on September 5th, and essentially what he's doing is he's partnered with Child's Play to do a 24-hour Zelda marathon in an attempt to raise money for Child's Play. All proceeds go to Child's Play. I know he's playing Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Twilight Princess. He will be, trying to pretty much see if he can get through all three. I know that's his goal, and it'd be really nice if somebody could, help support a good cause. And for more information, it's twitch.tv/exp_stream.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll check that out for sure.
Word.
All right, Charles, any final thoughts?
Knights of the Turntable takeover. Me and Joe in the house. Of course, Gary's part of it, and and you all need to pay attention to it because it is incredible, and we have great conversations about it. And also Matthew Dean's on there with us, and we have a lot to talk about, and I think you'll find it interesting. We're kind of trying to bring some exposure to the dope sides of hip hop, so you don't have to deal with Gucci Mane all the time.
Look at that jab! Look at that jab!
Bobby Weave, kid.
Burr.
Okay, yeah. So Joe, final thoughts.
You know what? I don't get to talk video games that often with people because my friends don't play them the way that we all used to play them. I actually haven't played that much in the last couple of years, but I'm hoping to get back into it. Like once I go buy my PS4 here, within the next couple of months now, after I get the money back up for it. But it was really cool coming on here and talking video games with you guys. So that's my final thought. Oh, and free Gucci Mane.
All right, it was good to have you, man. Okay, Austin, you got one more thing to say? What's up?
Yeah, I hate to, kind of reiterate and always be the bearer of like negative or bad news, but I think I've said several times we as a society, specifically, I hate the term, but our generation, like I said, we always go to our media as a big influence. It's not just something we, quote, escape to. It's something that really influences in every step in shaping our life. And it's not inherently a video game comment per se. But I just want to say, I offer all my support to my fellow Jurassic Park fans because we lost John Hammond this past week, Sir Richard Attenborough, and it's. I just wanted to say of all the great franchises that have never gotten a great video game, Jurassic Park's one of them, and it's just a shame going forward he can never lend his, I guess, talent to a game, let alone the new movie that's coming out. So fellow Jurassic Park fans, take a moment of silence and bow your heads for John Hammond and the Dream.
Yeah, rest in peace. Okay, I just want to give a shout to all the listeners and all the people who comment on the website. Even Seth, I saw him going back and forth in the comments. Shouts to him. He's a very passionate individual.
Yeah, Seth, me and you got a problem, player.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he thinks about this episode. Because we actually, we spoke a lot about Microsoft, so you should be happy with this one.
No, I don't think it's a matter of talk about one and you'll be happy. I think he's anti everything. He or she is anti whatever. But we'll see.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to say. And shouts to Michael, not Michael A, but the guy who's called Michael, and Magnum. And Magnum, I saw that you sent a message to Edward asking why he's not on the show anymore. So it's good to see that people have been listening for a while and that people are noticing who's on the show, who's not on the show, and everything. So yeah, shouts to all you guys. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. We will be giving away a free copy of Destiny in September, to a lucky subscriber of the newsletter. So make sure you all subscribe to be in with a chance to win Destiny. And only sign up once, please, because I noticed people trying to sign up twice and everything. That's not going to work. Okay, yeah, so that's episode 88 of the Co-op Podcast. Thanks for joining us, guys. And we're out. Join us next time.
88 was a good year.
It was. Wait, what came out that year? I can't even remember.
I came out that year.
Okay. I thought you was referring to like a specific movie or something.
Nah. Like I know I was born and Prince probably dropped an album. I don't know.
Touch if you will, my stomach.
All right. Well, that's it. We're out. Peace.